from SVG Cuts, and I'm here today with some really fun Christmas projects. So lately when I've been out shopping or whatever and I see really pretty gift bags, especially if they're on sale, I've been grabbing a whole bunch because you never know when you're going to need a gift bag, especially if something you're trying to wrap for a gift is not going to fit in a box or it's hard to wrap or whatever. Obviously, you know what gift bags are for. So I thought it would be really nice to have some really simple, plain, functional, just like standard, traditional, nice gift bags. Because I know I can use them, so I thought you probably could too if I could use them. So there's more of a smaller to medium sized one and a large one. So I wanted those to be nice and useful. And you can leave this strip off the top, to how they're like two different patterns. You can leave the top pattern off, just use really cute paper, throw some tissue paper in there, and it's super cute. So we also have our fun little Santa pants, which are something that I saw online. They were made out of felt, and I thought that was really cute, so I said, let's make some out of paper, and those are going to be fun and whimsical. And it's the kind of thing that if you give someone or you put under your tree, it's going to bring a smile to people's face because it's silly. Santa pants are just obviously just silly. So obviously we have a really cool gingerbread house. So if you're in the mood for a fun project that's going to be like a wow factor, we've got this included too. And I love how on the inside it's also finished off really nice. So the whole thing is just nice, nice, nice. And you can use it obviously as a gift box, a very special gift box, which will then I'm sure be used as a decoration, or you can just make it as a decoration, as a centerpiece. And since the windows are vellum, vellum is obviously see-through, so if you put some electronic battery-powered tealight candles in there, it's going to light up and look really cute too. So that is really fun. And gingerbread houses can be like light brown all the way to like dark brown, so you can really get crazy and customize yours. You can make the icing white or cream, and then you can use your fun patterned Christmas papers, and I put a bunch of bling on there so it looks kind of like candy, and that was a lot of fun to put together. And obviously the roof is very detailed with all these cookie shingles, so that part takes a little time to glue all the icing and the shingles on, but it's not difficult, and there's little guidelines on there to show you exactly where to put every single piece. So I'll show you how that works here in just a minute. And then finally we have one more cute little simple gift bag, and it obviously has a cute little snowman on the front, but you could leave that off, use different paper, use it for birthdays. Same with these gift bags obviously. So I hope those come in handy all year round. And this snowman guy actually has holes around him for stitching with floss, like embroidery floss or twine or whatever. So if you want to do that, it looks really cute, but there's also a version included without the holes in case you don't want the holes. So the paper that I used this time is so pretty. It's by Echo Park. It's by Lori Whitlock. It's called Reflections Christmas. And I didn't even get to use this really cool North Pole map paper in my projects, but I love that. Really pretty. And of course, like I always say, there are so many gorgeous Christmas papers out there, so you can use really any of them and it's going to look awesome. Or maybe you already have some left over in your stash. Probably you do. So I've got all my pieces cut out to show you how these go together. They're pretty simple. This one could use, I can give you some tips or whatever. So I've got my pieces cut out, so let's get started. So first off, I'm going to start with our large gift bag, and it's got two long rectangles, which are the bottom. And we've got the face of it, which is just, it maximizes your whole entire 12 by 12 cutting mat, which is nice. And the back looks very similar, except the back has a crease in it. And then we've got the two sides. So the thing to notice about the two sides is on one half of the bottom there's a crease here, but not on the other side. And there's a mirror image here where the crease is on this side. So we want those to line up with the back, with the crease on the back. So it's just a matter of gluing all four sides together, putting the bottom on, and that's it. There's also some nice reinforcing tabs on the top that we'll get to in just a minute that kind of make it nice and sturdy too. So I'm just lining these up as best I can here, nice and straight. And I've got a nice thin, even layer of glue. So there's not too much glue, but just enough to hold everything together. And now I'm putting some glue on the other side tabs so that I can glue this one to the back. And again, this crease here is lining up with this crease, which is going across the back. So that makes it look like a nice standard gift bag, and technically if you glue it as perfectly as you can, you should be able to fold it up so you can lay it flat and store it for next year with your gift bags too, or whoever you give it to. Hopefully they can save it and reuse it next year. So now I'm just going to put the front of the bag in place. Super straightforward and easy, and I think the worst mistake you could possibly make would be to not line those creases up, but won't really matter. It's still going to be really cute. You just won't be able to fold it up and lay it flat. So now I'm just putting some glue on this final side tab here, and this paper is so adorable. It's some leftover paper I had called Bundled Up by Crate Paper, and I didn't get to use this really cute pattern of these kids in the snow. I love it so much. I still have a couple more gifts that I need to wrap up, so I'm definitely gonna put one of them in this cute bag I'm making right now. Okay, so there are the sides of our bag all together, and now what I want to do is just fold these tabs over. So I'm gonna, basically all I want to do is put glue on all 6 of them. The large one in the front, the large one in the back, and then the 2 smaller side ones. And I'm just kind of haphazardly throwing some glue in there. You can be more precise if you want. And then these 2 side tabs on each side get folded in, and it's split in half so that you can still fold your bag up. And I think this is really nice. It makes it nice and sturdy so that the top of your bag is not like warping at all. It's nice and straight and nice and cute. So now all you need to do is flip it over and take the larger of your 2 rectangles, which is this one here. And we just want to put a nice thin even layer of glue on all 4 of these tabs, going all the way out to the corners, and then just put your bottom in place, adjust it if you need to, and then this other rectangle just goes inside as a liner to finish it off and strengthen it up. So then for the ribbon handles that I have here, I left some slack. All I did was put some ribbon through and tie it in a knot on the other side, and it's pretty straightforward and simple. So also, as you can see on this other finished bag, I did put these strips on top, which just get glued right onto the top. They fit perfectly, and you can see exactly where they go, just around the whole entire top. And then if you want to cover the seam up with some pretty trim, you can. It looks nice. Or if you leave it off, it'd be cute too. So next for our medium-sized gift bag here, it's super simple. It's just 2 main pieces and then 2 rectangles, which are the bottom. So if you watched the last video here about the last segment of this video, this is very similar to the last bag that I just made, except it's even easier because there are fewer pieces because it's smaller. So I'm just gluing the 2 sides together. It doesn't matter which side you start with, and you want to do your best to line it up. And it was a little crooked there. And then I just want to close it up like this. I can even lay it down flat to make it easier to work with here. And then again, all we're going to do is glue all of these flaps, glue them all down to strengthen up your bag. Same thing with the ribbon handle, and the same thing with these strips along the top. If you want to add your strips to the top and add some trim, you can. Or if you want to leave it plain, it's cute too if you got cute paper, which I'm sure you do. And then you just want to flip it over and put glue on all 4 of these tabs going all the way out to the corners. And then you just want to take the slightly larger of the 2 rectangles, glue that to the bottom, flip it over and push down from the inside if you need to, and then glue your liner in place in the bottom, and that's your bag. Now next I've got my snowman bag, and if you are doing the stitching with twine, and I put these little bling pearls in between each little stitch, if you're doing that, you want to go ahead and do your stitching now. And you could even put your snowman on now if you want to also. He's straightforward, there's no drawing involved or anything. He's just little pieces of paper just glued together, glued right on there. And then if you're also using these panels on the handles, you can put those on right now as well. And for our bag here, we've got 2 main pieces and then 2 smaller rectangles, which are the bottom. So I've got the plain version of my bag here without the holes. That's the only difference. It just doesn't have those holes for the stitching in it. And since this paper is so cute, it's going to be a totally adorable, useful little gift bag that's going to be super quick to cut out on your machine and just whip up if you need a bag. And you just throw your little gift in there with some tissue paper, and it's adorable. And since you're making it yourself, you could even make a really cute little tag to go with it. Even if the tag is just really plain but done with cute paper that coordinates, it's gonna look really awesome. So as you can see, I put the 2 sides of my bag, or the 2 parts of my bag together. And then again, all we need to do is take a look at the bottom, just put some glue on all 4 of these tabs going all the way out to the corners, and then you want to take the larger of your 2 rectangles and glue that into place. Then you can flip it over and put the smaller of the 2 rectangles inside on the bottom to finish it off. So next for our Santa pants, we've got the pieces laid out here, and these are the 2 sides, which are identical, and the front and the back are also identical, and the bottoms of his legs are the same too. Then these pieces are going to go on the inside to form the inside of his pants. And then we've got the cuffs, which are both identical, as well as his 2 pieces of his belt, which are also identical, and his 2 suspenders, which are also the same. So first, let's take a look at the front, the back, and the sides. So basically, we want to glue them together side to side, like so. So to do that, I'm going to start by really just grabbing any one of these 4 pieces, as long as they're in the right order, alternating. And I put glue on the 3 tabs down the side of one piece, and I'm just going to start carefully gluing it into place. As you can see, I'm just doing 1 tab at a time. I'm giving it a chance to dry before I move on. So there's the 3rd and final tab glued into place. And I'm going to flip it over and just push down from the inside. So I just want to do the same thing here with the next piece. And I'm just going to work my way around until all 4 pieces are glued together. So I've almost got all 4 sides glued together here. And before I finish it up by gluing these guys together, well, I'm going to go ahead and do that. And it's just the same idea that we've been doing these last couple steps here. Just 1 tab at a time. And it might help to kind of lay this on the corner of a table, which would, for me, you wouldn't be able to see in this video here, but when you're working with this, if you want to lay it on a flat surface, it might help to lay it on the corner of a table so you can get a flat surface just right where you're gluing it. So let's set that aside for a second and take a look at the inside of the pants. And there's these two pieces that look like this, and you want them to be folded towards you and then away from you down here, like this. And then we're going to sandwich them together and make sure that the top is lined up real nice. And then this piece here is going to get glued like this to join them together. So let's put some glue on this piece. And glue that together. And then we can put some glue on the other side. And now those are joined together. So that forms the inside of the pants. So now it's time to put this inside here, like so. And it doesn't matter if you have it going this way or that way because it's symmetrical. So I'm going to go ahead and put some glue on the interior tabs here, just on 2 of them. And then I want to start, I've got my interior pants piece here. It doesn't matter if it's flipped like this or like this. And I want to stick it up in there, but then I want to start by putting the bottom in place. So as you can see, I've got this lined up real nice here on the bottom. I'm gluing that into place. And then I'm going to carefully glue this longer tab into place as well. And I can reach in from the inside, getting fresh with Santa here, and make sure that that tab is getting glued down. So I just want to go ahead and do the same thing on the other side, and then I'll flip it over and do the same thing on the back side. So I have all 4 of my sides glued together with the interior part now, and let's go ahead and strengthen up the top by gluing these 4 tabs or flaps, whatever you want to call them, down across the top. So what I'm doing here is just putting some glue on these top flaps, and I'm folding them over, which makes the top of your bag nice and sturdy and keeps the paper from warping, keeps it nice and straight. So next we can take a look at the 2 rectangles that go on the bottom of his legs. So we can go ahead and flip this over, and all we want to do is put a nice thin, even layer of glue on all 4 tabs going all the way out to the corners, and then grab either one of your smaller rectangles and glue that into place. You can go ahead and do that with the other one, and then let's take a look at the cuffs. So again, these are both identical, so it doesn't matter, you can't grab the wrong one. And these just get glued right onto the bottom. There's not a cuff on the inside because it still looks cute and it's a little easier this way. So that's where the cuffs go. And if you want to put your panels on, that's like optional. I use this red glitter for my pants panels. You could use a fun red patterned paper or whatever. So next, let's take his suspenders, and all we want to do is put a little ring of glue around one of the holes and line that up with a hole on his pants. And you want to do your best to make sure that that's going straight up and down. And then do the same thing on the other end of the suspender and glue that so that the hole is lined up here with the hole in his pants. And go ahead and do that with your other suspender as well. And then we can glue his belt into place, which is simple and straightforward. You just want to put some glue all over the back side of it, And it doesn't matter which one goes on the front or the back. And you just want to line that up nicely and glue the side in place, and then glue the rest of his belt into place, and you can glue his belt buckle into place, and then you can add your 4 decorative brads through those 4 holes. So finally, for our gingerbread house here, I've got the bottom pieces. Let's take a look at the bottom. So as you can see, the bottom is really simple. It's a simple shape. So the first thing you want to do is, with your bottom pieces out, we've got the 2 sides, which are identical, and the front and the back, which are almost identical, except the front has 2 windows, and then the bottom, which is 2 rectangles. So first you want to flip your pieces over that have the windows in them and glue your vellum into place on the back side. And once you've got your vellum in place, you can go ahead and decorate the front with any flat shapes. I mean, you could do the whole thing. I just like to maybe put the bling on at the very end because it's not laying flat, so it's just easier to work with. I think if you put the flat decorations on while your pieces are flat, and then at the end put the bling and everything on. So let's say that my pieces are all decorated with my panels and my icing and my, you know, window frames and everything. Like on the side, I've got this panel, I've got the frames in the windows, I've got the vellum and this white icing around the side. So you want to get all that into place first, and then it's just a matter of gluing these pieces side to side and then gluing the bottom into place. So I'll go ahead and do that real quick. I've just got one of my sides, doesn't matter which one because they're the same, and I'm going to glue the side to the front here. And again, my pieces are plain in this video, but yours are going to be decorated pieces. So now I'm gluing it to the other side. And once we get all 4 glued side to side, before we close it up, I'm going to go ahead and put most of my interior liner pieces in place next. And by that, I'm talking about the pieces in your folder, which are called interior liner pieces. And while this is still flat and decorated, I'm going to flip it over, and as you can see on my finished box, this brown patterned paper are my liner pieces, my interior liner pieces. So we want to put those on now, and I want to put them on anywhere where there's a tab that's been glued over. It's safe to put it on. So for mine, it's safe for me to go ahead and put the back one on, and the side and this side. But I don't want to put it on this one yet because I still need to glue this closed, and I don't want this tab to be exposed. So you can go ahead and glue on 3 of your interior liner pieces, and then glue closed this final side tab. And I just think doing it in this order makes it a little easier, but it's not necessarily wrong if you kind of do it out of order a little bit. It's not the end of the world. So now I can go ahead and put my 4th interior liner piece into place, and then I can glue my bottom into place, which I don't even need to show you. It's so simple. Just put glue on all 4 of these tabs going all the way out to the corners, a nice thin even layer of glue. And then you want to take the larger of your 2 rectangles and glue that into place as the bottom. Then you can flip it over and push down from the inside and glue your smaller rectangle inside the bottom to finish it off and strengthen it up. So that's the bottom. Let's take a look at the top. Okay, so here is my lid and the main pieces of my lid. So I've got 2 of these kind of triangular shapes which are identical, and I've got these 2 main roof pieces which are obviously they're white. You want those to be the color of your icing, which they will be because it's labeled in your white icing folder. And we want this one with the hole in it to be folded away from you here, but then the opposite way on the next 3 folds and then away from you on that final fold on the bottom. And then these side pieces get folded away from you. So here again we've got it folded this way, the same way, the same way, and then the final piece, the final fold is like that. So to start off, what we want to do is put some glue on this nice large flap at the top. And I want my glue going all the way out to the corners, a nice thin, even layer. And these little decorative guys up at the top are just going to stick up straight. So I want to be sure that this is lined up really nicely, because if it's not, it'll kind of throw off my whole roof here. So you want to be sure that it's lined up as perfectly as possible along the top here. And now it's just a matter of gluing this guy to the front and then one to the back, which I'm going to do by putting glue on one side, one half of this side. So I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of these tabs here are going to get glue on them. And the nice thing is that this seam that we're closing up right now is going to be hidden by a decorative piece. So you want to do your best to line these up as perfectly as you can, but again, don't stress out because it's going to be covered up in just a minute by a nice decorative panel too. So like I do a lot of times, the way that I'm doing this is just gluing one tab at a time, making sure it's nice and straight and lined up real nice, and then moving on to the next one. So I did a good job here. This is lined up very nicely. And now all I want to do is the same thing on the other side, and then I'm going to flip it over and do the same exact thing on these pieces. So now I've got my roof base pretty much together here. And now the next thing I want to do is take my chimney and go ahead and put my panels on it. And as you can see on this cute little chimney here, there's the white icing borders, the panels, the candy cane, and the top panel. So you want to decorate your chimney, and then we can glue it closed by putting glue on this side tab here. And I can even lay it flat to make it easier here. And then these tabs I actually want to be facing the other way so that they are ready to go. And on the top here, I'm going to go ahead and glue that closed with some glue on all 3 of these tabs. So I've got that nicely lined up and in place. I'm just going to reach down from the top and push those down. And now I can take my decorated chimney here, and as you can see, it looks like it should be going this way. If you try to do it this way, you can tell it's wrong. So this is the direction it's going to be going in. And then we just want to push that up from the bottom, from the inside. And then we want to go ahead and glue these tabs down. I think pretty much one at a time is a good idea. Maybe do this one and then the opposite one to kind of hold it in place. And then you can go ahead and glue the other 4 tabs down as well. So at this point, what we want to do is put our decorative panels on the front, which are the same. The front is the same as the back. And as you can see, this decorative panel kind of extends past the top just a tiny bit so that it kind of creates a nice curve, first of all, and it also hides that seam, so it creates a nice finished look. So you want to go ahead and put this on, as well as the little top layer here, and then your little icing on the face too. And again, that's the same on the front and the back. And then all that's left to do is put our cookie shingles on. So let's take a look at those. So now for our cookie shingles, there are several pieces that are clearly labeled, and I went ahead and I darkened them in with a marker, but my machine and your machine will have cut the same thing into your pieces. So if you want to darken them in, you can. They're going to be hidden when you're finished project, but those are all there. So I have them lined up, as you can see. These two pieces up at the top are identical, and they are the skinniest. So you know that those two go at the very top at the end to finish everything off. And then on two sides here, we've got the chimney side, and then we've got the other side. So they are labeled 1 through 7. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then also 1 through 7 over here, but these also have a little circle so that you know this is the chimney side with the numbers with the circles. So there's room for the chimney here. That's why pieces 4, 5, and 6 are split in half to create room for the chimney. And at this point, what you want to do is take your icing, and you want to glue your icing on all of these pieces. So that takes a little extra attention and care, but it goes together quickly, and you can clearly tell which ones go where, because these are interchangeable. There's about half of them look like this, and about half of them look like this shape, which is just the same thing, but you know, halfway over a little bit. And then the shorter pieces clearly go here and here. These two are the same. These two are the same as far as the icing goes. And then these are also shorter. So you want to go ahead and glue your icing on right now, and then we can go ahead and start to glue our shingles onto our roof. So let's take a look at the side with the chimney, because the other side works the same exact way, but it's even easier. So if you can do this side, which you can even more easily do the other side. So let's pretend once again that there's icing on my shingles, and yours should have their icing on them. And then we want to start with piece number 7. And what I want to do is just gently curve it a tiny bit. I don't want to fold it, I just want to gently curve it just a little bit. It's not even that important. And then, as you can see, there are some little tiny holes on your roof, and those are guidelines for where the corners of your pieces are going to be placed. So all I want to do is put maybe like a 1/4 inch or so of glue along the top of my piece, and then as you can see, this corner with this tiny little hole here, you just want the corner of your piece to just barely cover up that little hole, and then you know your placement is just perfect. So there's piece number 7, and again I'm just kind of curving gently. Here's piece number 6, 2 little lines of glue, and then as you can see, I'm just barely covering up those 2 little holes, and I'm also making sure that there's a nice straight line here that I've got going. And again, your pieces will have icing on them. And then the other part of piece number 6 here, gently curve it, put a line or 2 of glue on just the top, and then just barely cover up that little hole and make sure that the side is lined up really nice. So really, you got it now. All I'm doing is just the same thing all the way up the whole entire side of the roof. A gentle curve, a little bit of glue, line up the sides, cover that tiny hole, and moving on to the next piece. So go ahead and do that all the way up to the top, and then we're just gonna put that final skinny piece into place. So there is my almost final piece here, number 1. And then all that's left to do is glue this guy. No need to curve it or anything, just glue that right on top to cover up your number and finish it off really nicely. So then you just want to do the same exact thing over here, but since there's no chimney, it's even easier. So finally, we just have our interior liners, which look really nice and cover up all the seams on the inside and everything. So as you can see, the interior one here is just flat, it just gets glued right in there. Same thing on the other side. And then as far as these curved surfaces go, you want it to be nice and curved, so I only put glue, a few lines of glue here and then a few lines of glue up here, and I glued my interior liner right into place. Or if you're looking at, let's say we're looking at this square in front of us, you just want to put glue on the top and the bottom and glue that into place on both sides. So that's it. Really fun Christmas projects, really useful gift bags. I hope they come in handy. I hope you can use them this year and all year round. And I hope you have a lot of fun making your gingerbread house if you make this too. So if you do, you'll have to share pictures on our Facebook wall or from your blog, on Pinterest, Instagram, really anywhere. We always love to see your projects, and so do the rest of our crafty friends in our crafty community. So thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time, and happy crafting.
Learn more by visiting www.svgcuts.com. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and watch all of our crafty videos on YouTube. It's a world of crafty content with you in the middle. svgcuts.com, inspiring you to live creatively and beautifully.